Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that last week we just learned how to make your face cast replica safely at home on a very low budget. And while this is super easy to use and very convenient for prosthetic work, some people just don't want to do that. So I do have, in this first video for this week, we are going to go over some alternative options if you don't want to make your face cast. An option that I actually still use regularly is I do have a mannequin form. She will be linked over on Amazon. I do have looks sometimes that have to come down on the neck, and this is just a really good base that you can easily work on either laying it down or standing it up. The only problem with this one is we're still gonna have to modify her. You kind of have to apply a piece because her nose is non-existent. Proportionately, she actually matches up pretty well to the measurements of my face, except for when it gets to the nose area. The reason that she is shiny is I'd already added a nose appliance to her face and I had sealed the whole thing, but I removed it so I could show you guys how we could modify it. Now, how are we gonna modify it? Well, if you remember, when I did the face cast video, I had made a second face form. So I'm actually going to end up cutting off the nose form from this to create a new nose. What you guys can actually do is just make a plaster bandage piece of just your nose. And then we're gonna use the same casting materials, and that'll all be linked below, just to make a mold of the nose for the face so that you have a breathing cavity that's super comfortable. Alternatively, you can get these super, super inexpensive plastic face molds. Now these unfortunately are so lightweight because they're just flimsy plastic. I like to put cotton balls in here, seal it over with some tape, and I'll fill the nose as well. And then I will actually seal this whole thing with multiple layers of paint and the clear acrylic. I still like to stuff the inside as well to make a flat surface here and to weight it down so that you have something that you can work with on top of the table. What's good about these is they do come in male and female. There's a few different versions of each one, so you can find a little bit easier of a face option. So if you don't want to take the whole route of making your own, you can work with one of these.
To modify our mannequin, I'm going to be using the same plaster bandages linked below that we made the face form from to seal the nose area shut. Once dry, I'll cut out just enough to make contact with the surface area around the nose. Try to cut in straight lines so that you don't warp the mold edges too much. So if it's curved, cut from both sides to meet in the middle. Next, we'll be attaching with masking tape and using our casting material and water in the same 3:1 formula. Make sure that your nose piece will touch the face all the way around it. Measure 3 parts mix to 1 part water and mix thoroughly and quickly. It'll seem a little too dry at first, but just keep mixing until it looks like pancake batter. Go ahead and attach tape to the outside of the nose piece and fill with your mix. You'll want to add more than I did and let it overflow a bit. Lay the face down into the mold and press the tape down. It should look like this and touch all around the edges. Rest the forehead on something and let it dry for about a half an hour. I removed mine after about 20 minutes because I knew that I would have to remove from the lip area as mine sticks out farther naturally and it's easier to do when soft. Here you can see where I needed to add more of the mix, but that's okay. We'll fill in and smooth the edges with spackling and water. It's very easy to work with, inexpensive, and dries really fast. I blended mine out fairly far to have less dip to the cheek area. Be sure to clean up the outside areas with a wet paper towel as you go. Once you're happy with it, clean up the creases with a wet Q-tip and let it all dry. Once it's dry, clean the surrounding areas with rubbing alcohol. I'll seal everything with 3 layers of black plasti dip, and once it's dry, this is what she looks like. We now have a sufficient depth for the nose, and even though the nose looks large in this lighting, the nostrils actually stop here, with the rest filling in the dip to the cheeks for a smoother transition, and that is it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and look out for video number 2 this week, dropping on Wednesday. I'll see you later.